and go.
So Dave, there's been a lot of talk about absentee buyers from out of state and out of other countries coming into Detroit and buying properties and having other people do all of the work for them, and they expect to make these huge profits. What are your thoughts on that?
The truth about that is millions are being made right now in Metro Detroit as well as Detroit. In the country, you can't buy anything for the price point that we're getting here in the Detroit area. So people from California, Israel, Florida, New York, New Jersey, they're all coming in and they're saying, I have so much money and I want to buy all these properties and I'm going to become a millionaire, and I want you to take all my money and go get good investments for me, do all the work for me, and hand me a briefcase full of cash at closing, and I'm going to go off to live my life and just become a millionaire from that. The truth of that is it's all BS. Can you depend on other people to navigate your financial freedom and take your money and invest it as you would conservatively so that you make a profit? Can you expect contractors to take draws of $5, $10, $20, $30,000, show up every day at 8 a.m. and work till 5 and work the weekends and commit to getting your project done on a certain timeline? The answer to that question is no. You can't do that. It takes a lot of work. And in order for you to come into a market like this, it's very volatile, where we're living in the land of squatters. We're living in the land of tenants that refuse to leave, and evictions, and an incapable system for the Detroit Water Department. And there's so many things that go to it. But the basis of that question is really answered like this. If you believe that you're going to come into the Detroit market and you're going to buy homes and you're going to pay people to come in, renovate them, and then you're going to sell them for huge profits, or you're going to place tenants in them and you're going to make these huge returns, is it possible? Yes, but there's a system that has to be put in place in order for that to happen. What people don't know is in the Detroit market, now that the state of Michigan, the city of Detroit, and Wayne County have identified that people are coming in here and spending money on these properties, this is their opportunity, everyone, to get their money back for the water bill. This is their opportunity to get the tax base back that they've never been able to collect. All these properties that they've held for the tax foreclosure process, that they finally have people that are buying them, they can finally get that money that they've been waiting for, that they've been incapable of collecting for all of this time. So now the city has implemented rental inspections. Now you have to pay $159 to get a rental inspection, and that means a guy from BC in the Detroit building department is going to come out and he's going to look and see if the place that you're going to rent is something that's suitable for a human being. And in a lot of cases, they're not. So they're going to come through the clipboard and they're going to check off all these things on a list, and all of those things need to be completed in order for you to be able to rent that property out to someone, for you to make that huge return you're looking for. And that, folks, costs a lot of money. You can't just expect them to come in there and check you for a couple of things. They're going to check you for thousands of dollars worth of things. And on top of that, you have to now get a lead inspection, where they come through with this probe and they touch every wall and door and floor and ceiling and window pane and any piece of metal in the entire house, looking for lead-based paint. And if they see that, they're going to come up with a list of things that you need to do to encapsulate that. And sometimes, and in a lot of cases, you have to have a licensed abatement team come in to neutralize that. And those things come at a huge cost. So what you think you're buying for $20,000 or $25,000 could easily turn into a $50,000 investment before you even place a single tenant. And that can backfire in your face. When you're thinking that you're going to buy a property and you're going to get $750 a month and it's going to be this huge 15-20% return, and it turns into an 8% return, you could have just called me. And I would have told you that you could invest in South Warren or Roseville or East Point or certain areas in Detroit with tenants already in the property that were already lead certified, that were already rental certified, that you could start getting rents from day one. But the difference is between competent real estate investor-based agents and real estate agents that are looking to make a dime is they're going to tell you whatever that they have to tell you in order for you to purchase the home so they can get a commission. And guess what happens when they get that commission and you have problems? You get voicemail. You get non-return texts, you get emails that are never returned, and you get someone who really doesn't care, because at the end of the day, they never were really interested in providing you with a great investment and thinking long-term to build your portfolio for you. They're just looking to get a simple commission, and they're going to walk away from you because when they have to do work they're not being compensated for, they're not going to work for you. And that's the most important thing, and the key to being successful is you have to find people that number one, you can trust, and number two, understand what you're doing as an investor so they can help you stay away from taking these huge risks that can ultimately cost you hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of dollars, and that can damage you financially, and there's no coming back from that without having people confident that can help you. And that's where we come in as competent real estate agents and investors.
Okay, so